Hey guys, it's Preston and welcome back to another Call to Battle video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the Wisp Archetype, which is an archetype in the Call to Battle Expansion 1 Battle Tactics. Just as a quick little reminder, the Call to Battle base set is complete and it is for sale on the Game Crafter. Be sure to check it out on there, as well as pack opening videos on my channel. I have starter deck opening videos and booster pack videos. And so be sure to check those out, and if you want to get your hands on some cards, I'll put a link down in the description. And so let's jump right on into this archetype showcase right quick. And so first up we have the yellow Wisp, and what these cards are going to do is kind of synergize together to sacrifice themselves in order to make other creatures on the battlefield stronger. And so a common theme you're going to see throughout these is they're all going to have the same burn attack, but then they're going to have an ability called sacrifice, and this is going to have a different effect for all of them. And so the first Wisp is the yellow Wisp, and his sacrifice says, send this creature to your graveyard and give the next creature you add to the battlefield +8 base HP. And so he is going to buff up the next creature you put on the battlefield. Next we have the blue Wisp, and he costs a little bit more to play, just one more Stellarite, but his sacrifice says, choose a friendly creature on the battlefield. That creature's next attack does +6 damage. Send this creature to your graveyard. And so yellow Wisp is going to make some of your creatures stronger health-wise, and then the blue Wisp is going to make them do some more damage. And so with sacrifice, you don't have to play it as soon as you add them to the battlefield. You can keep these creatures on the battlefield for as long as you can and, attack with burn, let them get some damage in, and then right before they're defeated, you can use the sacrifice ability. It is a little risky doing that because your opponent could be like, okay, they're leaving them on the battlefield, so I'm going to take them out as quick as possible. That way they can't sacrifice. So it's just kind of a high risk, high reward type thing with these guys. And the third Wisp is the green Wisp, and his sacrifice says, send this creature to your graveyard, then search your army for a creature and add it to the battlefield for 1 less Stellarite. And so this is more of, I guess, what you would think of as the traditional Wisp, like luring people into bad things, except this guy's going to go lure creatures from your army to your hand, I guess you could say, which is kind of a weird analogy, but yeah, so this guy lets you search out your deck for a creature of your choice, and then you can play it to the battlefield for 1 less Stellarite. So he's really good for that. And I went ahead and got 2 copies of each of these creatures. And then the fourth creature that is in this archetype is sort of the boss creature, and he is a rare card, and he is the Wisper. And as you can see here, I really like his artwork because he has a yellow Wisp over here that he's kind of created, and the blue Wisp, and it's like he's forging the green Wisp from these two. And one thing I forgot to mention is that these 2 cards are actually from the the base set, and then these 2 are from the expansion. So the current plan for the moment is for the expansion 1 starter deck, or one of them anyways, is to be a magic type deck and probably some other element. I haven't decided yet. And so all of these cards will be in there for that starter deck. And so onto this dude's abilities and stuff. So he costs 3 Stellarite to play, and he has 16 health. And then his ability is Summon. And it says, add 2 Wisp creatures from your graveyard to your hand. Wisper can't use this during your next 2 turns. And then he has an attack, Will-O-Wisp, which does 4. And so what this guy allows you to do is keep recycling these smaller guys down here, and keep playing them over and over for as long as he's on the battlefield. You can keep recycling these, granted he stays on there long enough. And so probably the best way I can think, or the best situation of how this would go, is first off, you could play a yellow Wisp, you could sacrifice him, send him to your graveyard. This is our graveyard. Play your Wisper, and so Wisper now has +8 base HP, so now his HP is at 24. And then you can use your blue Wisps, you can use green Wisps, and the blue ones are gonna power him up. And so say you sacrifice the blue Wisp, and then Will-O-Wisp, since the blue Wisp allows a creature on your battlefield's next attack to do +6 damage, Will-O-Wisp is now going to do 10 damage. Okay, so that's cool. You've used 2 Wisp creatures, you sacrifice them. Now he can use Summon. You can go back, add these 2 from your graveyard to your hand, and start the cycle over. Maybe you want to use Yellow Wisp with a different creature, like use Yellow Wisp and then add the Blue Wisp. So now Blue Wisp has +8 base HP, so his HP is now 20. You could keep him on the battlefield, let him use Burn, which does a decent 3 damage, let him attack for a few turns, let Wisper attack for a few turns, and then right before he's killed, you can sacrifice him, send him to your graveyard, and then Will-O-Wisp now does 10 damage again since you sacrificed your Blue Wisp. And then after 2 turns of not using Summon, he can use Summon again and keep cycling these creatures back through your hand. You can cycle the green Wisp, search out for other creatures that you want. One really good creature is the Goblin Chieftain, which is a magic type creature and it buffs all magic type attacks. So he would be a good one to search out for. If you have, say, a Yellow Wisp in your hand and you don't have your Wisper yet, you can always play the green Wisp, find your Wisper, and then add him to the battlefield for 2 Stellarite instead of 3. And so that's basically how this archetype works. The Wisper is here to cycle through your Wisp creatures, and these creatures are here to buff the other creatures in your deck. And so hopefully, maybe in the next expansion, if there is a next expansion, I hope there is, we can see some more Wisp cards, like maybe a red Wisp and a purple Wisp. Just cycle through all the colors of the rainbow here, and just have some really interesting abilities for the magic type. And so this was a little bit of a shorter video, but that essentially is this archetype in a nutshell. And I'm really happy with how the artworks turned out. I really like the Wisper, but aside from that, I think the green Wisp is probably my favorite. You can kind of see the blue from the blue Wisp and the yellow and the green, and he just looks really mischievous with that look on his face, And so that is the Wisp archetype. I hope you guys enjoyed this Call to Battle video. If you did, make sure to leave a like or subscribe so you don't miss anything else. But thanks guys for watching. You do you, and I'll see you guys next time.